Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Means peace and blessings upon you all. Dear students, today we're going to learn about few things actually about arrays using the NetBeans IDE. We were dealing with the notepad all the time, and today I think it's the time to use the NetBeans IDE. So what do you mean by IDE? This means Integrated Development Environment, and NetBeans is the one which we're gonna use all the time now. So how we do first is we go to File, we create a new project here in a file, okay, and the Java applications, then say next, and we're gonna name it, for example, ARR, okay, array. For example, I'm saying it's my array, maybe I call it ARY, and it's saying me here to create a main class and also to set this as a main project, because we could have many projects running together, and then which project will actually run on pressing the run button will be the one which is active. So it will also create a main class for my project, and I say finish, and it will do everything for me which I require to run this particular program. And here we go. As you could see, we have a package, we have a public class ARY which we usually created in our notepad, because our public class name should be same as my program name. Okay, so it is ARY Java as a file name, as well as my public class is ARY, and it's giving a caps because it's a class, and also creating a main function. So it's doing all the stuff for me. So now let's start doing something. Let's create an array. And in C and C++ we know that we could create an array which is static. Means that you're creating array and the size should be constant. But here we can do a little bit different. For example, I have a scanner class first. Scanner in is equal to new scanner, and I am here passing it the default input. That's keyboard, as you know all this stuff. Now I'm creating int, and here in the NetBeans you see an error message is generated because scanner needs a java.util.scanner, and it's telling me would you like to edit. So if I say click it, it's gonna add it will import itself java.util.scanner. This is the beauty of this IDE, that is doing all the job by itself. That means I have to do nothing but to just work along. So for example, I create an int limit, for example, is equal to, now I'll say in dot next int, because next int is a function, therefore n should be small, and I cap next int. So what does this do now is this will create me this will get a some integer variable and put that into a limit from the keyboard. So this is, I'm gonna tell me how many array elements I gonna create. So now let us declare and construct my array. Declare as a construct. So I'm saying integer AR is equal to new. So I should say here the box to tell that this is an array is equal to new, and I'm saying int of size. I will give the limit whatever user has told me. Okay, so whatever you wish. For example, say 4, an array will be created of 4 boxes. For example, say 5, so array will be created of 5 integer array. Got it? Now let's start filling something in it. So I say for int I is equal to 0, and then I can say I is less than AR dot length, whatever the length of the array is, go up to that, and then say I plus plus. What I will do here is I will fill up some random numbers into the array. So I will say AR of I is equal to, and I use here math dot, this is a, we have a you know, a function called random in the math class. It shall generate me some random numbers. So as you could see, math.random. Okay, so this math.random function generates numbers from 0 less than 1, 0 to 1, but 0 is inclusive and 1 is exclusive, 1 is not included, and it will generate like 0.1, 0.2, 0.13, 0.44, anything which is greater than 0 and inclusive 0 up to the 1, right? So if I multiply this with my limit, which is for example say 5, so this will generate a number up to the 5. So this will never generate more than 5. So because I'm saying for it is 0.5, but it will have a floating points in it, so I should say here, I should typecast it to the int. Now see, if it is generating say for example 0.3, and I guess we need to put it into the parentheses, then typecast it, because math.random will generate me some say 0.6, okay, and into the 5, that's 5 into 0.6 is 3.0, and int will cut it to 3. So no matter what, because the maximum number which I can generate here from the math.random is 0.9, okay, and when I multiply it with the limit, whatever the limit is, maybe 5, then 5 into 9 is 4.5, so it's gonna be 4, okay. So it will generate my numbers from 0 to 4, 0 to 5, is it, within that limit. So I'm filling my array with some random numbers, and that too which is the limit, which will be below the limit. We'll see it shortly what will be filled in, okay. And then we're going to print it using the extended for loop. Extended for loop does what is, we create a variable which can take the, because my integer, this is an integer array, so in the extended for loop what I should do is I should have some I mean to say integer variable like int r, I'm saying, then I'm saying you drop into it the particular array, that is AR. What will happen here is, in a short, as we have learned, that it will go from like this, I is equal to 0, AR of length, it will go from 0 up to the length of the array, and 1 from the array, that means AR of 0 will drop into the R. So R first time will have the AR of 0, okay, and the second time it will have the AR of 1, AR of 2, and up to the AR of length. And here I will print it, that I am saying system dot out dot println, what else, the R. You're going to print the element R. This element R will be printed because R first time will have the AR of 0, then R will have AR of 1, AR of 2, AR of 3, and up to the whatever the limit of the AR will be. So if we start running it, and we will see that first we will be asked that what about the limit. I have not given any information, rather I should give some information here first before I'm asking for a limit. That I will say here, for example, so as to make it more intuitive, system.out.println, enter how many elements. Okay, now if I run it, we'll be asked about how many elements, like this, and then I have to put those elements. He's saying me enter how many elements. So I'm saying, say for example, 5 elements. So 5 will be my limit, is it? Then when I hit enter, now you can see here, and I say how many elements, 5. So my numbers are getting generated. That is from 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Some random numbers are getting generated into my array, which are less than 5. And from 0 up to 5, they will be all that. So for example, I give it a next go. Say for example, this time I will say 12. I hit enter, and you could see some random numbers are generated up to the 12. Is it? Because I had 12 numbers, because 11, 4, 9, 7, and so on, a lot of stuff, but they will not be greater than 12, and they will be from the 0 up to the 12. That is between the 0 and 12, all the numbers will be generated. This is happening because of the math.random function what we have, as you could see here, math.random, because math.random will generate from 0 up to the 1, exclusive, not 1, I mean say below 1, that will be 0.1, 0.2, 0.9, or any such things. And we multiply with the limit. Say for example, limit was 5, so if it is 0.9, that will come about to be 4 when you typecast to the int, cutting off the point values after decimal. That means making it from float to the int. It will have the numbers between, if it is for example 0, it could be 0, it could be 0.1, it could be 0.2, multiply with the 5. So what is 0.2 into 5? That is 1. So it will generate all the numbers up to the 5. Okay, and those random numbers we put it into our array. Now, but that was not sorted, but we can sort them, and we need not to write any program, because arrays in Java are an objects, and it does have the member functions. Okay, so what I do is here I will use a one member function of the array class, that is a sort. So I will say a, before I print, okay, before I print, I will sort them out. I will say array array, okay, arrays is actually the class, arrays dot sort. So I'm gonna use a sort, and sort what? You're gonna sort the the array. And if I run it this time, it will ask me first how many numbers to generate, and then you will see I will say for example 8 numbers. I need 8 numbers. Fine, and it will generate some random numbers up to the 8, but those will be now in a sorted order. I would say 8 numbers, then they are all in sorted order. So you said how many elements to enter? I said 8, then they are all in sorted order. Is it? So what's happening here is we have used a sort function which is predefined in our arrays class, right? So because arrays are it's an object, basically it belongs to a particular class, so we have a lot of member functions in it which can be used to work with the arrays. Hope you got it. So stay tuned until next time. Maslama.